The Steelers begin their preseason with a decisive victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a final score of 27-17. Now, coming up on today's show, I've got 4 winners and 4 losers to break down for the Steelers in this one. Now, let's just start with the winners, and let's start with the guy that impressed me the most today, and that was QB1, Kenny Pickett. Kenny was freaking fantastic, man. Getting outside the pocket, throwing on the run, throwing dots. Deontay Johnson was getting open. And then I think the best play of the game for him was that final play, that touchdown pass where it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and long. He steps up in the pocket, finds George Pickens coming on a dig route, and then Pickens does the rest and takes it to the end zone. I mean, that's exactly what Matt Canada and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense are hoping out of Kenny Pickett. And I definitely think that we're going to see more of that here as the season rolls on. Can't wait to see how he does next week. And then also Nick Herbig, the outside linebacker, edge rusher out of the University of Wisconsin. Didn't really play early on, which concerned me. I thought maybe they'd be sitting him a little bit because of the injuries that he's been dealing with in camp. He's been dealing with a hip flexor issue, but he looked fantastic today. Had 2 sacks, really got after the quarterback, and he was by far the best defensive player on the field when the Steelers took their starters out. And then we get to Calvin Austin III here, wide receiver, who obviously had that bomb touchdown from Mason Rudolph. And, you know, a third-team corner is simply not going to be able to cover Calvin Austin III. He absolutely ran away from him, and Mason put it on a dot. Definitely Mason's best throw of the day, and Calvin Austin III showed that he is a legit deep threat weapon for this offense for when they want to go deep. He can take the top off of a defense. And after seeing that play on tape, I guarantee you NFL defenses are not going to want to play around with Calvin Austin III. And then if you got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens running routes underneath the top of that defense, good luck stopping it, especially with Kenny Pickett throwing them the football. And then speaking of wide receivers, George Pickens. I mean, seriously, that touchdown grab and run was special. We've been seeing this stuff in Steelers camp. Throughout camp to this point, we've been seeing special catch after special catch after special catch, and this guy is the real deal. I am ready to say that this guy is going to be, without question, in my opinion now, the number 1 weapon for Kenny Pickett to take advantage of on offense this year. Deontay Johnson showed his route running chops today. He was fantastic. He got open multiple times, had a number of chunk plays, but George Pickens showed how he's just a little bit different than just a normal wide receiver. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the ability to run after the catch, and then, of course, he's got that ability to make those one-of-a-million type catches that you just don't see from regular average Joe wide receivers in this league. Now, let me know what you guys think about the Steelers today. Who was the biggest winner from today's game? Was it George Pickens? Was it Kenny Pickett? Or was it Nick Herbig? Or was it somebody else? Am I missing somebody? Let me know down there in the comments section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. Take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. And then also, if you would, go ahead and subscribe to the channel here. We really do our best to give you guys the best damn Steelers coverage here on the platform. We are by far the fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube, and that is for a reason. We've got daily content here on the channel, along with weekly watch parties, weekly live shows. We try to keep it interactive as heck for you guys, and we try to give you guys the best coverage, premium coverage on the Steelers that money can buy, and that money for you is absolutely zero. So do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now. And now on to my losers here, and you know, this isn't the end of the world for these guys. We still got more preseason action. We still got more training camp practices, but Tanner Morgan was definitely a big loser in my opinion today. You know, there's an instance there where he fumbled a ball under center. That can't happen in the National Football League. And then on the next play, you get a review, right, and you get the ball back, and then you throw a ball behind your tight end, and it gets intercepted. Like, that just can't happen, especially for a guy like Tanner, who just isn't super talented physically. Now, I thought Tanner made a couple nice plays tonight, but I think Mason Rudolph, with his kind of poor play in training camp to this point, it left the door open for Morgan to make a statement, and he just didn't do that, so that's why he's a loser for me tonight. And then, of course, prayers up for Duke Dawson, who went down in the fourth quarter at around the 2-minute warning with what looked like a pretty serious knee injury. We're going to have an injury update for you guys on him as soon as we have it, so make sure you click that subscribe button. But prayers up for Duke Dawson. Make sure you get those Dukes in the comments section. Then also we got Jalen Elliott, somebody that came in, just signed a couple days ago. So I'm taking this with a grain of salt because he's new. But, he had an interception go right through his hands today, right? He gave up a touchdown in the red zone. It just wasn't a great day in terms of the optics for Jalen Elliott. Now, I want to see how he does in the weeks to come. He already came into a pretty loaded safety room with Trey Norwood and Miles Killebrew. And the Steelers got some good depth at that position right now. And Jalen just didn't really have a splash performance tonight, and that could definitely hurt him. And then finally, my last loser of the night was Pressley HarvinIII, who I don't think had a single punt tonight. I mean, I might be wrong on that one, but it looked like Brandon Mann was the one out there. Now, that might just be because they don't want Harvin to get hurt. Who knows? But I took that as, Pressley Harvin and Braden Mann have been battling it out at camp, and Braden Mann got all the reps today. I can't imagine that that's a good thing for Pressley Harvin's prospects. Now, I guess we'll have to see how things go in the coming weeks. I'm sure he'll get at least some reps before the start of the season, and I can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do. But for today, he was definitely a loser in my book. So now, Yinzers, Steelers Nation, do me a favor right now and let me know. You already let me know your winner for today. Give me your biggest loser down there in the comments section. Can't wait to see who you think is the biggest loser from tonight's game. And now I got some final thoughts to kind of wrap things up from tonight. I thought that Kenny Pickett was fantastic. The first team offense looked awesome. Now, granted, the Buccaneers didn't play pretty much any of their starters on defense. Okay, so, of course, right? Of course Kenny Pickett looked good against the second team defense. But, he showed me everything that you want to see from a guy like Pickett. Second-year quarterback, he looked like he showed some improvement in some of the key areas that I wanted to see from him. He's stepping up in the pocket more often. I could see him making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. He was extremely accurate to all areas of the field today. And then it ended up with a touchdown. And it could have easily been flip-flopped, right? He was slated to just have one drive today. And if that ended in an interception, then we're talking about this in a completely different light. We're saying, is Kenny Pickett washed? Is he not a good quarterback? We're talking about those storylines. But instead, they came up to the plate on the road in their first preseason action against a different defense, and they absolutely dominated. Now, I will say that I think the Steelers offense, going up with this great Steelers defense, has definitely sharpened them, right? The old saying goes, iron sharpens iron, and you could definitely see that with the Steelers going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And I think that the Steelers going into next week and into week 3 of the preseason, it's going to be very interesting to see how they do against teams when they play more of their starters. So very interested for years to come. It was a great start to the preseason here, and it's definitely a great feeling to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan right now. Now it's a Steelers win, so you know what that means. Type W for me down in the comments section. The Steelers win this one 27-17. It was a great game for Kenny Pickett. It was a great game for the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers in general. That'll be it for me today, guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button for the best damn Steelers coverage here on the planet. And until next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.